Welcome to the podcast Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook, where we will discuss the latest and most relevant business strategies to help you do one thing extremely well: sell more homes. We'll discuss everything from business planning to lead generation and conversion to past client customer service and everything in between. Join us for authentic conversations and nuts and bolts takeaways you can implement into your business today. And now, Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is a great day and another episode of Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook. Kelly was actually recently at an event, a pretty big one in Phoenix, the Waste Management Golf Tournament. Did I get all those words correct?
Absolutely.
All right. So tell us a little bit. What was your favorite thing about that? I know you were talking about that event a couple of weeks ago here. How was it?
Oh, guys, I'm telling you right now, I know this is a real estate podcast, but if you have a chance to visit Phoenix, the Super Bowl weekend, right? It's always Super Bowl weekend, that second week of February or so. To come to the Waste Management Phoenix Open, the PGA Tour, the greatest show on grass. It is exactly that. You have got to come down and experience. It is not like any other golf tournament you will ever go to anywhere else in the world. That is a fact. So if you like to go down there, have a good time, it's basically going to a party and the golf is just kind of like taking place in the background. As opposed to normally you go to see golf and then there's maybe something shenanigans happen in the background, but it's just the opposite. It is such a good time.
It's a party
The weather's usually
with
really,
golf.
really good. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I mean, people dress up in crazy outfits and there's 100,000 people there on the golf course every single day.
Which golf usually feels pretty buttoned up. So you're saying this is kind of the opposite of the sideline golf clap.
The 16th hole is a coliseum. It's completely enclosed like a baseball stadium. It's fantastic.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm glad you got to go to that. It happens every year, I assume, Super Bowl weekend. Yep. So start planning for next year because if you're in most places in the country, Phoenix sounds nice about this time of year. So
yeah, absolutely.
All right. And today, since it is a real estate podcast and not a golf tournament podcast, we are going to get into something real estate related. Today, we're going to talk about open houses, which I think we've touched on in the past, probably a long, long time ago. And it's something that I know during COVID, a lot of people weren't doing. And I think a lot of people didn't even really go back to it, to be honest. I think it's kind of one of those things that that has kind of become a thing of the past. I know a lot of people are still doing it, but it's not quite as common as it used to be. So we're going to get into it though. If you are going to hold an open house, how do you hold a successful one? What are kind of the elements that go into that? Especially if you are a newer agent. And like I said, during COVID, we weren't really doing that. You might not have held a bunch in the past. So let's talk about it. What do you do for an open house?
Yeah, guys, I think, with everything you do, you have to have a system, right? And we have a lot of those, and we do have an open house system. We have an open house checklist number one. So let's back up here and let's go in three different parts here: pre-open house, during the open house, and then post open house. Okay, so when it comes to pre-open house, we have a bucket that little Rubbermaid bucket that full with things that you need to put in your storefront. Your open house is your storefront. Okay. And then when you first join the team, we have a checklist of things that you should go, we highly encourage you to go buy to carry around in your car most of the time, let's say, not all the time maybe, but most of the time. And what those things are for an open house is this: a nice card table or a not so nice card table but it has a very nice tablecloth that you put over the top of it, right? Why? Because you want to have that you don't want to rely on the furniture the seller has in the house as a way to set up your shop the appropriate way. So you have that table, you put it by the front door in the lobby. When you first come in, you have one folding chair that's nice and comfortable to sit there maybe, or for a little while. And then you have everything else in that Rubbermaid box that goes with your open house setup. Things like flyer stands, the actual print copies of flyers and things of that nature, marketing collateral. Then you have a sign-in sheet pamphlet. You have a giveaway bucket, pens, absolutely. So you have these things, and you have a couple checklists of certain things. You have obviously your flyers for the property, and then you make sure you get all that set up. Now you have your signs. You have to have a minimum of 10 signs. guys, you can do less than 10 signs, but I'm telling you, if you're going to go sit someplace and do a good job for the seller, and you're going to be there for a while for yourself, 3, 4 hours, you might as well make it as best as possible and get as many people to come in as possible and talk to as many people as possible. And but to do that, you really need to have 10 signs, no matter where you're at. And then obviously, if you're in some tucked away place, you might want to have more like 20. Ideally, you have 20. And so we have a plethora of open house signs on our team, and we have a Slack channel. People communicate, because some people are doing more open houses than other, and we ask people to bring back signs. We have hundreds, and that way people always have at least 10 when doing open house, and we have multiple going at all times. We're sitting somewhere in the ballpark of about 45 to 50 open houses every single month on our team currently.
Wow.
It is a big part of our business, and it does bring in people. Even if most, according to NAR, right, about 7% of all homes sold due to open houses last year. So 7% is not a huge number. Yet at the same time, 19% of all homes sold due to unique knowledge that someone in the neighborhood knew of that house for sale and told someone they knew about the property. Now, how the NAR tracks that, I have no idea.
Yeah, that's
But they
a
do.
weird statistic to know, but I mean,
Right.
that's great.
So you take 19 plus 7, now you're looking at 20, what's that? I'm terrible at math, 26%. That's a quarter. That's a good chunk. So they do work. It just might not always be directly working. So we need to be doing that as a strategy for most listings. Now, there are some listings out in the middle of nowhere and things of that nature that, yeah, they might not be the best for an open house. That is true. Not everything is lumped into the same category, but the majority of homes are. And so we do a lot of those open houses. So you want to have your signs out. You want to have your bucket of things ready to go for your storefront. You want to leave marketing collateral in different places around the house, at your front table, in the kitchen. Some people say on the bathroom countertops. I know some people feel weird about that, but that's what a lot of people say. We don't do a whole lot of that, but we do put it around different parts of the, if there's a table behind the sofa in the great room, that kind of stuff, right? Put a couple flyers there. So people can always pull something, look around while they're walking around the open house. That's the pre. Now you go to the during. During the open house, it's a 5-step process for us. I'm not saying this is the right way for everyone. This is how we do it. And that is number one. You want to greet them when they first of all, you should lock the door. Okay. Now, especially for a female, lock the door. Okay. That's a security thing. Second of all, if you have someone coming in the house and you start walking them around the property because they want you to tour them or whatever it may be, and the door's open, you don't know who's coming in the property. Okay. So lock the door. When the person comes to the house, you greet them. You have a flyer in the other hand. You greet them. You tell them your name. You ask for their name. And you give them the flyer. And then that's step one. Step two, then you ask them, you say a script like this. Hey, your name's Jen and Mike. Oh, hey, Jen and Mike, how you doing? Great, blah, blah, blah. Hey, listen, we find out that most people who come to open houses come for one of two reasons. Either A, because they're looking for a property to buy in the neighborhood, or B, they own a house nearby and they're trying to get a gauge of this house to compare what their house might be worth. Which one are you guys today? And you zip it. Now you have a good idea if they're looking more as a buyer or more of a seller, right? They might just say, well, you get the people, well, we're just, nosy looky-loos, right? And that's okay, whatever. But you ask the question and see what you can get from that. Then you ask them, say, look, hey, I know this is not great for everybody, but listen, I promised the seller I would make everyone who came into their house aware of who it is. So the seller's asking for everyone to simply put down a record of their name and contact information on the list. So if you could please sign in, that would be great. And by the way, we actually have a sign that we have this blue tape that painter's tape, right? That we put on the outside the door, letting people know that the door will be locked. Okay, then go ahead and ring the doorbell, no problem. And that for security purposes, the seller will ask you to sign in.
Yeah, if you get anything stolen, you got to have that suspect list, of course.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just yeah. Does it help the agent out at the end of the day to try to control the population, if you will, so that you can hopefully get contact information? Yes, it does. Let's be honest, right? I mean, that's what we're trying to do as well.
It's a real security, yeah.
But it's also a real security thing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in these higher end homes, right? I mean, it just is. And especially if you're a female, let's just call it what it is. There's countless stories of females that have had people, do weird things or try to stalk them or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. It just happens more to females than it does males. That's just what it is. So it's a security thing too. Then after they sign in, okay, then at that point, we say, great. Now, how did you find out about the property? And we're still, by the way, we're still in the foyer, right? When you walk in, right? But towards the front door. How did you find out about the property? Was it the signs or was it online advertising? Because we do advertising for open houses. And they say whatever it is. And you say, awesome. Now, how does this, you saw the house a little bit. I know you haven't been through the whole thing, but how does this house, I'm sorry. Step 4 is then you say, you give them a lay of the land and an expectation of what's to come. Because people don't want to sit there listen to you blab all day long. They want to get to see the house, right?
Mhm.
Cool. So let me give you the lay of the land. Over here, you got the primary bedroom. Over here, you have the 2 kids wing, or back here, you have the kitchen, back here, whatever, right? Give them lay of the land, and I'm gonna let you loose in just a second. But I do want to ask, how does this house possibly compare to yours? What brings you in? Why? How does this house compare to yours? You saw the flyer, you saw the online advertising, you've seen a little bit, you haven't seen the whole thing yet, but how does it compare to yours? And then I'll let you go and you can tour the house and have fun. Okay. Now people are like, oh, he's gonna let me go for this. This is great. I got this last question just to simply ask. And okay, so well, this house is a single story and we have a 2-story currently, and man, we're just kind of tired of the stairs. So that's why we're here. Awesome. Okay, cool. I totally get it. Well, matter of fact, we'll let you loose here. So again, kitchen's over here. Why don't you start this way over the master? It's probably a good place to start, and then you can check it out. Let me know if you have any questions. But by the way, you said you have a 2-story house, right? Yes, I do. Now let me ask you a question, sidebar, Elizabeth. Do you think if you're a real estate agent that has a lot of people in the database, somebody in there is probably looking to buy a 2-story home?
Absolutely.
And if you're sitting in an open house in such area, a suburb, you probably sitting there because you work that area, so you probably had no people looking to buy probably in that area too.
Hmm.
So is it a possibility that someone in your database that you have access to, if you send a mass email out or mass text or something,
Might be
probably would
interested.
be interested in the 2-story home that these people have, that they're probably going to sell if they buy this one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
I
chance.
think so. So you say, you know what? You say you have a 2-story house down the street in this little neighborhood or subdivision? Yeah, I do. Okay, cool. What do you guys want for it? Well, I mean, we don't. We went 800. Or they'll say, we don't really know. I mean, I don't know. We haven't started the process of that yet. Or, what do you think? Well, I haven't seen your house yet, but I'd love to come by and just give you a quick complimentary idea of what I think I could probably sell for in this market, because things are changing here and there. It'll take me just 10, 15 minutes to walk through, get a feel for how floor plan flows, see what kind of upgrades you've done to the property. I get off here on this open house at 4 p.m. I can grab my signs and come swing by for about 10 minutes, maybe around 4:30. Would that work for you? They haven't even seen
Yes,
the
with
house
me?
yet.
Yes, absolutely.
They haven't even seen the house yet.
Hmm.
And now you just booked a quote unquote listing appointment.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, that works. We have nothing going on Sunday, whatever, right? Just come on by at 4:30, swing by 10 minutes, no problem. Sounds good, Mr. Smith. By the way, have fun and let me know what you think of this house when you come back to the front here. Any questions? I'll be right here. Right? They don't want you walking them around the house, breathing down their neck, right? No, let them go. Assuming that you think everything's safe and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Let them go and let them enjoy themselves. Let them picture themselves in that bedroom or in that bathroom or in that backyard, right? Without you there, because you won't be living there with them.
Hmm.
And then when they come back around, if for some reason you're bombarded by 13 other parties that happen to come in the house, whatever, and you're trying to deal with all these people and talk to them, you don't have to worry about saying bye or, what do you think of the house? Oh, okay. Well, did you like the primary bedroom? Oh, was it great? Was it big enough? Oh, by the way, if you want to see other houses, I can help you. What's your email address?
Yeah.
And you're like, what? No, sorry. Thank you. Have a good day. Sell the house.
Hmm.
Right?
Got it all done at
Got it
the
all done.
front end.
Got
Hmm.
it all done because you're a professional and you have a system of doing business. Okay. Which, by the way, benefits them too, because they don't want you. I mean, the number one complaint we get from people when we survey them about coming to open house, they go, I'm just concerned I'm not going to be left alone. I'll be bothered the entire time.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody
So,
likes to shop like that.
yeah, you don't want to go to the store, the Gucci. I know, Elizabeth, you go to the Gucci store, right? A lot. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't want to go to the Gucci store and have someone just breathing down your neck the whole time and looking at
Yeah,
whatever
it
you're looking
feels
at, shoes,
pressure.
purses, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't
Yeah,
want that.
absolutely.
Give me my space, right? And then the last but not least is the post open house system. And that is simply really a 5-step process. Number one, everyone who comes in the house, you put them in the database. Okay. You should put them in the database. Number one. Okay. So that way you can follow up with them appropriately, et cetera, et cetera. Number two, you send them a video text. Hi, my name's Kelly, or hi, this is Kelly. Thank you so much. Obviously know my name, right? We just came to open house. Listen, I know your time is valuable. And so I really appreciate taking time on your busy weekend or day to come check out the house. I know the seller will truly appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. Don't say a word in the text in terms of verbiage. Send the video text. Did you sell them anything?
I
Did you
mean, they
ask them
remember
for?
your name or your face, your name,
It's a
everything.
thank you. You're being grateful. That's all it is. It's a give. And then later on that day, step 3 is you email them or text them if you don't have the email address, right? Text them a link to the properties within, say, a half mile or mile radius around that property, because you're going to guess, because you don't know the criteria of what they're looking for. You don't have time to
Right.
get it at the open house.
They like the area at least.
That's right. And you're going to send them the information and let them know in the email that you're guessing that you can really make this much more tight for them and better. So it's only what they want, but you are doing your best right now. Give me a call. Let me know where I can tweak here. And I'd be happy to set that up for you right away. This is all same day. Step 4 is that you send the feedback to the seller or the listing agent on the team you're sitting it for, right? If you're not the listing agent, so that they can get that feedback immediately to the seller, because that is a big value add for the seller to know what just happened for the 4 hours at their house.
Yeah,
And number
absolutely.
5, call them the next day. And you're calling them specifically for the reason of asking them if they received the properties you sent them the night before via email or text and what they thought. And then
Okay.
from there, it goes to in 18 different directions, who knows, but they should be in your system now, your database, to then go through your appropriate follow-up protocol on
Mhm.
that person. And there you go.
I love it. So I know that, like I said at the beginning of this episode, that there might be a lot of newer agents that haven't done an open house, or people who haven't done an open house in a really long time. And at its face, I know, as somebody who was not involved in real estate at any any point, like to a consumer, it feels like, oh, an open house is meant to sell that house. And yes, of course, that is your primary objective for your
Objective. Yep.
seller, right? But it's also a incredible lead generation tool where you're getting people put in front of you to come talk about real estate. Like they're raising their hand to come talk about real estate, come see real estate in some way, shape, or form. You're able to open up those conversations. I know that we talk, about you should have talk to 3 people a day, or whatever it is for your goals, right? Of how many people you need to talk to per day to add into your database, to have conversations with, to hit all of your numbers. An open house is a pretty easy way to knock a lot of those out for a week, right? Like, depending on how well you promote it and all of that, you can have all of those conversations to hit your goals of how many people you need to talk to, on a Sunday afternoon or whatever it is, with people
Hmm.
coming to you to talk about real estate in some way,
Yep.
shape, or form. So,
Yep.
as much as it is a marketing tool for your seller, it really is a tool for you and your business as well, to get in front of more people, add more people to your database, get more leads. So
No question. 2 for 1. 2 for 1.
2 for 1. Yeah, I was like,
Yep.
2 for 1 what? It's a 2 for 1. Yes,
A twofer.
absolutely. Yes. Okay, guys. Well, that is going to wrap up this week's episode. Got a couple of things for you before we go. Number 1, Kelly's event is coming up still. I'm trying to gauge about how far out, but March 1st,
Yep.
Friday, March 1st. It is reinventphoenix.com. You can go and
Yep.
get your ticket. They are still available. He's got speakers coming in. It's going to be a real good time
It's gonna be
for
really good,
a
Elizabeth.
one day.
4 speakers coming from out of state, from all across the country, from Canada as well.
Oh,
And then we
wow.
have a lot of local, really big hitters that are coming to speak. It's 9 to 4. And what's really cool about this event is that it's also going to be continuing education credit towards your renewal license hours as
Oh,
well, that you
wow.
will get for attending, along with a free lunch and along with a ticket for a cocktail for happy hour. Because when it's over at 4, we're already in the Wasted Grain, which is a nightclub in Old Town Scottsdale. You're going to stay there and roll out right into your Friday night, whatever you are up to in Old Town. So it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So, reinventphoenix.com, go there. You can also give Kelly a call about that or any other topic. Kelly, where can they do that? Where can they reach you?
Yeah, 480-227-2028 or at Instagram at Kelly Cook Homes.
And lastly, I know that we mentioned this last week, but wanted to bring it up again. If you are, listening to our podcast, you want more of Kelly and you want to hear what else he has to say and what he's saying, not just to all of you, but to his actual agents, right? And how they are, talking about all of these systems that we talk about, kind of see it in practice, right? As they work through all of that. He is kind of opening it up where he's inviting you to sit in on one of his team meetings.
Yeah.
He'll set up a Zoom so you can kind of sit in, listen to how that's all structured. Again, just reach out to him directly, say that you're interested, and we'll get you all set up there. And Kelly, how often are your team meetings?
We do a team training. We do a team event, if you will, or meeting every Wednesday at noon local time. And one every other week is a team meeting, and the off weeks are team training, group team wow, can that group team training topics. There you go.
Yeah, there
Ooh,
we
it's a
go.
mouthful.
So yeah, if you're interested in sitting in on any of those, just contact Kelly. Other than that, we will see you all next week with something new.
All right. Sounds good.
Bye, Kelly.
See ya.